No weapon is quite so debilitating as fear. And all too often, it's a weapon we point at ourselves. We let our minds turn our opponents into fearsome and unconquerable giants. And then that fear becomes an excuse for inaction. I'm Michael Quinn Sullivan with a reflection on life and liberty. As anyone who's been around me long knows, I love the story of David and Goliath and everything around it. I draw constant inspiration from David's confrontation with a very real giant by acting faithfully on God's promises. The result, of course, was victory. Yet earlier in Scripture, we find a very different reaction to giants. This happened after Moses led the people out of their Egyptian captivity. When they reached the outskirts of Canaan, a dozen spies were sent out to scout the land. The majority returned and said the land was indeed beautiful, but filled with powerful giants. The people, cowered in fear, turned from the land and began 40 years of wandering in the wilderness for their faithlessness. When God finally let the Israelites return, those fearsome giants turned out to be conquerable after all. Whether the Israelite spies actually saw giants or not, they let their fear overcome their faith. These people had seen the very real power of God in escaping Egypt and living on the run in the wilderness, but they still feared these giants. I'm willing to accept the testimony of those spies who said they saw giants, but I refuse to excuse their cowardice. Instead of faithfully confronting their enemy, they ran from the promise of God. They let their fear prevent them from enjoying the blessings He had laid out for them. What about us? Frankly, many of the giants in our path today have been revealed to be little more than shadow puppets. When the people of God finally put their fear behind them, they entered the promised land and took their first city with a roar of defiance. Today, we live in a land overflowing with Marxist indoctrination, abusive bureaucrats, and faithless servants. Cultural giants take pride in their sins while demanding we indulge their dangerous delusions. Some of our friends will give up, claiming to be weary. Others will claim to have calculated the odds, hiding behind a faulty analysis to justify cowardly inaction. Still others will admit to being too scared to fight, fearing a loss of reputation or income. What about you? What about me? We can't choose for anyone else, only for ourselves. We must choose every day if and how we will fight. As for me, I see the enemies of our republic on the run. Now is not the time to draw back, but to press forward. Now is not the time to quake in fear, but to roar in defiance. Now is not the time to slink into the shadows, but to advance boldly in the brilliant light of truth. Let's go slay some giants. The Reflections podcast is presented by Texas Scorecard. If you like today's reflection, please rate it, leave a review, and recommend it to your friends. I'm Michael Quinn Sullivan. Thanks for listening.